The questions I purposefully left lingering in my Master Sephiroth video was regarding the fate of Aerith Gainsborough in Final Fantasy VII Remake. If you've seen that Massive Theory video or my predictions video just about Remake as a whole, you probably know that one of my predictions as to where Part 2 is going to end is the Forgotten City, in the City of the Ancients. Now, this section of the game is infamous for a certain event that transpires here, something that shocked everyone who played the original game. Aerith, the young girl who joined the party back in Midgar, the girl who left a massive impression onto Cloud, Strife, and the rest of the party, attempted to summon Holy, but was killed by Sephiroth. This death is one without warning. It just happens, and there's nothing that you can do about it. This was to reinforce the theme of life, in a matter so tragic, in a matter so poignant, but in a way that beautifully gets the message across. The decision to kill Aerith without any way to bring her back was influenced by Hironobu Sakaguchi, and the creative lead of Final Fantasy VII, in his real-life loss of his mother, and his desire to convey that in a game. It's not enough to make life the theme. You need to depict living and dying. You need to portray death. The death of Aerith is such a profound event that stretched across all who played it. It caused people to write to Square Enix to ask them to update the game so that they can save her. But she remained dead. There was no way to save Aerith. The game reflected this mechanically. The menu screen showing the party would forever have an empty slot that can never be filled, representing the permanent loss the party experienced. For us, the player, Aerith played a role in combat that no other party member could. While every character was pretty much classless and moldable through the materia system, Aerith is without a doubt the best healer, and no one else comes close in comparison. Not Cloud, not Yuffie, not Vincent. But originally, Aerith wasn't the only character who was going to die. What follows is a conversation between Tetsuya Nomura, Yoshinori Kitase, and Kazuji Nojima. Did you know people have been coming up to me for years now, saying you killed Aerith? Are you trying to blame me for that? Okay, so I did kill Aerith, but if I hadn't stopped you, in the second half of the game, you were planning to kill everyone off but the final 3 characters the players chose. No way, I wrote that? Where? In the scene where they parachute into Midgar, you wanted everyone to die there. Really? Wait, I'm starting to remember. Yeah, remember? You and Nojima-san were all excited about this. I was the one who said no way and stopped you guys. You wanted to kill everyone except the final 3 characters the player chose for the endgame. Obviously, I'm the scenario writer, so I wrote the script where Aerith dies, but for that decision, we talked it through with the main staff. We talked a lot about how the story would turn out. The theme of Final Fantasy VII was life, and we sacrificed Aerith in order to give weight and depth to that theme. Her death is a tragedy, but if we suddenly just killed off everyone else after that, it would dilute the meaning of her death. Whether or not Aerith was going to die weighed on the hearts of the developers. Nothing had been done with a video game character death like this. At least not for a game that reached so many people. Long after we made the decision to kill Aerith, and development had progressed considerably, I used to go visit Uematsu-san in his room, just to hang out and talk about random things. One day, towards the end of development, I visited him to ask him, do you think we did the right thing in killing Aerith? When a character in a video game dies, no one thinks it's that sad. They're just a character in a game after all. You can just reset the game and try again, or you can always revive them somehow. I felt that their lives just didn't have much weight. With life as our theme for Final Fantasy VII, I thought we should try depicting a character who really dies for good, who can't come back. For that death to resonate, it needed to be an important character. So we thought about killing off the heroine would allow players to think more deeply about that theme. It wasn't my goal to make people cry with that scene. It was more wanting people to understand what it means to hurt and to feel that sense of loss. Aerith's death has had a lasting impact on those who have played Final Fantasy VII, and with how Final Fantasy VII Remake ends, with fate unbound and the unknown journey lying ahead, will Aerith die? Can we save her? This is when the brilliance of what the storytellers are doing over at Square Enix fully shines. With the party no longer bound by fate, the events of the original game don't have to happen the same way they did in the original. Everything is now up for grabs. We have no idea how the next parts of Remake are going to play out, which leads us and the rest of the fanbase to constantly wonder, can we save her? And this is exactly what Nomura, Nojima, and Kitase want us to be feeling right now. I believe that one of, if not the central conflict of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 will be that question. Cloud is already having visions of her death in Part 1. It's already haunting him. The developers are already toying with our emotions. They're putting the question, can we save her, at the forefront of our minds? But where are they going with this? How is Remake Part 2 going to answer that question? Now, this is just pure speculation, but I have a theory as to where Nojima and the rest of the madmen over at Square Enix are going to do to us emotionally. What I believe they're going to do in Part 2 is it's going to wreck all of us emotionally. By letting us ask the question, can we save Aerith? They are giving us hope. They're giving the party hope. They're giving Cloud hope that maybe, just maybe, such a senseless and meaningless act of violence can be prevented wholeheartedly. Only for Sephiroth's blade to pierce her regardless. They are going to twist the knife and make us think that we can save her, only to take her away anyways. Aerith has to die. You can't save her.